It's they were just checking, and then I told them.
Power on the speaker. Apparently you have to touch the power button. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Fenton and Alia's Ceremony of Love. They're so pleased that everyone was able to make it today. I'm Carolyn, and I am a friend of Fenton's from high school. We met on the very first day of grade 9 in Mrs. Campbell's grade 9C homeroom, and she sat right behind me, and we've been friends ever since. There's 5 of us who've been friends all through high school. 4 of us are here, including Fenton today, and our other friend is in Iceland, so she wasn't able to make it today, but passes on her best wishes. I'll be your MC for today, so if you have any questions, come and ask me. I'll smile and nod politely and try and find you an answer. But there are just a couple of housekeeping things that we want to go through just before the ceremony begins. If you are staying at the campground and have not yet checked in, after the ceremony, if you can make your way to do that, so that you're checked into the campground before the office closes, that would be wonderful, please. If you need to use the washrooms, everyone should have received a map of the camp, and there are washrooms. You did? Excellent. You're ahead of the game. There are washrooms at where the dinner is. There are flush toilets there. And then if you have to go before then, if you just sneak through this path here, there's a washroom just on the other side of the cabin. Okay? The other thing is, if you want to tweet this event, there is a hashtag. It's feeling very trendy at this point. And it's hashtag Jamton Ceremony is one of the hashtags. Or if you'd like to create your own, you're welcome to do that as well, to tweet. I would also like to make sure to introduce Shirley. Oh, hello. Wave to Shirley. Shirley is going to be, please, everyone wave to Shirley so she can capture the moment. Shirley is going to be our photographer today, and we are pleased that she's going to be able to capture all those moments for us. If you prefer not to have your photo taken, please just let Shirley know and she'll be respectful of that. If you are taking your own photographs, the other thing is please then share those with Fenton and Alia when you get a chance. They're going to be sending out a place for you to download those, so please take lots of photos of your own to capture the day, because Shirley is one person and can't be everywhere all the time. So we'd like to capture all those moments. I would also like to introduce Ronan. Rowan, right there. Stand up, Rowan. Rowan is the person, if you have questions, and I smiled and nodded at you and didn't know what was going on, she's the person to talk to. She knows everything that's going on for the day, so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to her. Now I'd like to introduce Nikki, who's going to be our celebrant today. Nikki created and led a theater project 5 years ago in Edmonton that Alia says was life-changing and giving experience with a small group of women of color who have now become family to her. Nikki now lives in Toronto. So I'd like everyone to pass over the mic to her. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. Hello. We've traveled here today, some were early, others late, for Alia and Fenton's love, to witness and celebrate. We've traveled to this land. It's beautiful, as you can see. It's the traditional meeting ground of the Saulteaux and Métis, the Blackfoot, the Nakota Sioux, and the Plains Cree. This land we acknowledge as Treaty 6 territory. Both Alia and Fenton's family have entered this land's cultural mix as immigrants and settlers. Alia's first generation, Fenton's sixth. We acknowledge the communities that have always been here and commit to support them in concrete ways every day, every year. So welcome to this land, this campground, this ceremony. For 4 years, I was lucky to be a guest on Treaty 6 territory. It's so great to be here with all of y'all. Back in 2012 in Edmonton, I first met all of y'all. We both had dreams of making theater with and for our communities. We went from collaborators to friends to being like family. I'm grateful that despite the distance we've moved the past few years, we've managed to stay part of each other's world, each other's spheres. Distance and travel have characterized, for the past little bit, much of Alia and Fenton's lives. Edmonton, Halifax, Winnipeg, they've moved coast to coast. And they invited us here because what they want the most is to host a day of love and ritual that we'll never forget, with all their families and communities who might not have otherwise met. So on behalf of them, a huge welcome to all who've joined this scenario, such as Fenton's family from rural Ontario. Joining them and all of you is Alia's fam from Vancouver, Calgary, and oh, that one doesn't rhyme. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, joining them and all of y'all is Alia's family from Vancouver, Calgary, and Montreal. Friends have come slowly, friends have come pronto. From Fordwick, Wakefield, Whitehorse, Camrose, Canmore, Halifax, Calgary, Montreal, and Toronto. Some came by plane and others by bus, and others are here in our hearts but no longer physically with us. So let's take a moment to remember Fenton's grandparents, Bompa and Nona, Dorothy and Fred Fenton, Marcella and Bill Bolton, Ken and Marcella Dixon, Alia's grandfather, Dada, Badruddin Qasim Bika Jamal, and all others we've lost, we love and we mourn, those who went during our lives, those who went before we were born. Welcome everyone to the Jamton Ceremony of Love. I promise to stop speaking in rhyme now. So yes, as I said before, what Alia and Fenton really wanted today was an opportunity to bring together people that might not have otherwise in their life have met. So I just want everyone here to take a moment. Does anyone here know every single person gathered here today? So can you, from where you are, just make eye contact or just look at or shake hands with someone that you've never met before? Can everyone just take a second and find one or two people? So nice. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We will now begin the first part of today's ritual. We're going to start with the passing of the jewelry. So I'd like to introduce Alex, whose official title is Jewelry Delivery Boy. Alex, where are you? Oh yeah. Alex Hussein is one of Alia's dearest pals from Halifax. So more than just a yay. So I'll give you a second to introduce Alex. So more than just a, you can come up here, Alex. More than just a jewelry delivery boy, Alex is a tender-hearted and dedicated Scorpio, as well as a rad pharmacist who does amazing community-based work in the north end of Halifax. Thank you so much, Alex. So the jewelry that we have here, Fenton and Alia asked a friend of theirs in Halifax to craft. Kirsten Holden Ada, who you can visit her work at fervorsewn.com. So Alia has, for her jewelry, chosen to have a pendant made out of amethyst from the Bloomingdale area of the Bay of Fundy of Nova Scotia, which is a place where the tides are some of the highest in the world. And they erode the red sandstone cliffs. And so Kirsten says that there is lots of amethyst just like lying around that area, but often you can't tell that it is. And a friend of hers picked up a huge boulder, and on the outside it just looked like a big rock, but when he drilled into it and shone a light in, he found it was all amethyst. So this is some of what is forming Alia's pendant. And Fenton chose to have their ring made out of silver with an oxidized strip around the center, and they really liked the cleanness and simplicity of the silver contrasted with the oxidized strip. So I'm going to explain what's going to happen, and then I invite us all to take a second all together and think about what wish we would like to, wish or wishes or blessings you'd like to impart for Alia and Fenton today. And what Alex is going to do is just put the jewelry out into our community here and invite you to pass it along person by person. And when the jewelry comes to you, you can take a second and impart whatever wishing or bless you have for Alia and Fenton and this union today and this journey that they're on. So let's take a second, a couple seconds now, and think of what that blessing is, so that when the jewelry comes to you, you can very efficiently impart your blessing and pass it on. So let's take a second together. A few. So both pieces will come to you at the same time. Is that correct? Yeah. So then you'll have both in your hand, and you take your second to impart your wishes onto the jewelry. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex. And the jewelry will weave through us throughout the rest of the ceremony. For those of you who can't see, it's very exciting. We're waiting for the box to be opened. Being unwrapped, the ribbon is off, the fabric is coming out. Oh, wow. The ring. The pendant. So, yes. There's some kind of joke here that's not quite formed. I'm going to give it a shot, okay? With this union, they're coming together, and you're going to put your wishes for them in the jewelry, in the ring, but even though they're together, they'll also be independent. It needs some work.
All right, I need
Hit me up during the reception with a better version of that joke. I'm sure you'll come up with it. Okay, so the jewelry is now being sent around. And so at this point, we're going to begin the joining of the families. And I'd like to invite Fenton's family and Alia's family to come to the front. Fenton's family is Connie Dixon, mom, Alan Dixon, Fenton's dad, Jen Fenton Staines, sister, Adam Fenton, brother, Susanna Martinez Fenton, sister-in-law, Nelia Fenton, nibbling, Alana Fenton, nibbling, Sarah Buck, best friend since toddlerhood, and Karen Buck, Jen's best friend since they were babies. And Alia's family is Zenobia Jamal, mother, Iqbal Jamal, dad, Khalid Jamal, brother, Tariq Jamal, brother, and Sarah Martin, best friend / anchor in life. We will now begin the candle ceremony. So love is one thing and love is many different things, and there are many different perspectives on what love is and can be. And Ollie and Fenton wanted to invite some people from their lives to share with everyone today a few different perspectives on love. So first I'd like to welcome up Asha and Sophia, who are going to share a little bit of their perspectives on love. So welcome.
Thank you. The following is an excerpt on love from Khalil Gibran. Love gives not but itself, and takes not but from itself. Love possesses not, nor would it be possessed. For love is sufficient unto love. When you love, you should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not you can direct the course of love, for love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Love has no other desire but to fulfill itself. But if you love and must needs have desires, let these be your desires. To melt and be like a running brook that sings its melody to the night. To know the pain of too much tenderness. To be wounded by your own understanding of love. And to bleed willingly and joyfully. To wake at dawn with a winged heart and give thanks for another day of loving. To rest at the noon hour and meditate love's ecstasy. To return home at evening tide with gratitude. And then to sleep with a prayer for the beloved in your heart and a song of praise upon your lips.
I am your friend, you are my heart. I am your quiet place, you are my wild. I am your calm face, you are my giggle. I am your compass, you are my wiggle. I am your dinner, you are my chocolate cake. I am your bedtime, you are my wide awake. I am your lullaby, you are my peekaboo. I am your goodnight kiss, you are my I love you.
I can't hold it together. That was really nice. Okay. So next up, we'd like to welcome Natalia, who is here from Halifax. So Natalia is very special to Alia as the first queer woman of color that Alia met in Halifax. Alia speaks so highly of her as someone with who puts in a lot of time and energy around holding space for other people, for particularly queer femmes of color, both emotionally and also physically finding space for people to gather. And I have learned that she's an incredible witch and quote, the babeliest of babes. So we're really happy to have Natalia here today to share some words on queer love and queer family.
So our bearded HM and Scooty Pants asked me to talk about queer love today, and in some ways I've wondered whether or not I am the right person to talk about queer love because I'm coming right now with a deeply broken heart, still carrying the pieces of the queer love and family that I worked so hard to build. But I'm also coming to this with a fluttering heart, crushed out and blushing at every other babe who crosses my path. And knowing that there is a queerness in this, that queer hearts can hold deep pain and butterfly wings all at once. that they can be both broken and whole. We seem to gravitate towards complexity and contradiction. We take tenderness and defiance and stir it in a cauldron with sequins and glitter until magical things happen. We cross borders, see the walls and know that they are not working for us, break them down brick by brick. We build our own paths to our hearts and find what others might not. That love comes in many forms, from many sources. That family is more than just blood. Though I come with pain and loss, I also come as a fierce believer in queer love, and as a fierce believer in your love. Because our queer hearts seem less concerned with happy endings, and more drawn to the process of love, the work of it. We seek the struggle and the growth, knowing that this is where we will find wholeness and truth and beauty. And if there is anything that I adore about our community, more than the sequins and the glitter, it's that we seem very willing to get our hearts broken, which also means that we are defiantly and stubbornly bent on finding new ways of loving. I love you both dearly.
Thank you. Next up, we'd like to welcome Alia's father, Iqbal, to share some Ismaili perspectives on love. Alia told me that a few years ago, she had a conversation with her dad about marriage, and Alia expressed that she wasn't interested in legal marriage, to which Iqbal responded, well, what about, have you thought about Ismaili perspectives on marriage, which I think led to a heated conversation. But it's very important to Alia, and she's very, really wanted her dad, who is an Ismaili thinker and scholar, and to share these perspectives with us today. And as you can see, a lot of Ismaili and Muslim traditions have been woven into the complex, beautiful fabric that is the ceremony over the past couple days. So let's welcome Iqbal up to hear some of that right now.
Thank you so much. Didn't quite expect a full lecture theatre today. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In Islam, the relationship between two loved ones is a social contract. It's a contract that speaks to the duties to each other, duties to the community at large, and it reflects the humanistic values of generosity, kindness, care, and the building of community that's incumbent on both parties. It's the sharing of time, of skills, of personality, of affection for each other, and with those less fortunate. At a personal level, it reflects caring and affection and support for each other as individuals, and each with their own uniqueness.
Their personality and their desires. This then extends to the family that is created. We live and learn as families and beyond that in communities that care, support, and nurture us, where everyone is included, everyone has a place and space. The spirit in each of us in this life balances two lives, a life in this world with all of its drama, its duties, its joy, and a life that goes beyond this world where we seek beauty, grace, and a deeper understanding of who we are. At that level, the contract encourages the partners to search for the hidden beauty in relationships and the mystery in beauty beyond what one can see or feel, which shows through in all the forms of human art and also the gentle exploration of creation. This is a search in wonder and respect of new horizons of knowledge, to see in each one, in each other's eyes, the expression of the Creator.
Thank
Forgiving and receiving of love.
And the loss of oneself in the other, in family, in community.
The Creator can be a path for each one of us to know our true self.
Thus, the contract between partners speaks to how we live as a family at the highest ideal of human life. That is the ideal, one that requires courage and love to achieve.
And this is what I wish for the partnership between my daughter Alia and Fenton. Thank you.
I said, who's feeling the love right now? Yeah. That was so beautiful when Alia came up and they were like, oh. Okay, so now we'd like to welcome up Sean, who is a friend of Fenton's from the U of A when they were both pursuing their doctorates. They shared office space in a space called the Green Room, which they said you can ponder why it's called that. I personally am intrigued. And there they ponder all kinds of things like if and how to use an ampersand. And now Fenton and Alia have welcomed Sean here today with us to talk about some academic theories of love. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you very much. Fenton asked me to come here and talk about theories of love as another raging academic, but she only gave me 3 minutes. And so raging academic and 3 minutes are sort of polar opposites, but I'll give it a go. So here we go. In 2007, I met this new graduate student in our lab, which is the Green Room, who was working on an area very similar to what I was working on. The Green Room at that time, I felt, was filled with love and theories. Fenton was working with theories of why we love nature so deeply and often so transformatively. My own work was grounded in that same sort of love. We loved it all, I would say. Loved it all. Working late, working on computers from 1995, 486 I think it was, and an even older printer that kept breaking that we had to pay for out of our own pocket, in a room with no windows, on theories only a handful of people would probably ever read. But I digress a little. Fenton's dissertation was quantitative, and mine was a post-structural qualitative. It doesn't really get a lot further apart than those two, I would say. Although, to credit to Fenton, they did try to explain to me things like, I'm going to have to read this, multiple regression analysis. And, and I tried succinctly to capture postmodern theory for Fenton. But Fenton's curiosity wasn't satiated with my little bumper sticker sound bites. And I shouldn't have been surprised by this, curiosity. Because curiosity, after all, I feel is the outward searching edge of love. And this curiosity of theirs led to many get-togethers, like the one where everybody else ditched us, and Fenton, the qualitative researcher, and myself were the only two people in the reading group that showed up that day to discuss the French post-structural philosopher Michel Foucault. And one of us hadn't read the book even at that point. But then I would graduate in 8 months, and I would probably get a job elsewhere and everything would come to an end, sadly. But luckily enough, Fenton introduced me to Kate, who's over there. Sorry to embarrass you there. So, as it turns out, I fell in love with Kate, and I stayed in Edmonton, and I got to hang out with all these amazing people. So, I have this theory about Fenton. They can see the seeds of love in others because they themselves live fully, care deeply, and love largely. I have another theory about Fenton and Alia. Fenton, when I knew them, was learning all sorts of interesting things. They were like many sponges. It's not the most flattering metaphor, sorry. They were like many sponges. One sponge soaking up quantitative methodology, and another sponge soaking up all these postmodern theories on identity politics, power, race, gender. Fenton incorporated these not so much into their dissertation, but into how they lived. We might call this spillover from their love of learning. And Alia came into Fenton's life, I would theorize, at the perfect time to co-create and co-evolve with Fenton. I don't know Alia as well as I would like, because, well, 5,253 kilometers. But, that's how far Halifax is from here. But, I've seen what she's done to Fenton, and it is beautiful. So, surprise, I have one more theory. I'm not quite as prescient as Fenton when it comes to matchmaking, but I do see Fenton becoming a better version of themselves in ways that contribute to a more just world, filled with tolerance and love and peace. And I would theorize that this is not really the result of some dead French post-structuralist, but rather, I know, they give me a PhD actually, but rather, it is because of the love and the life that Alia infuses into them. And so I would like to wish them both the fullest and the longest and happiest lives together. Thank you.
For our last speech about love, I'd like to welcome up Connie, Fenton's mom. Fenton said that they can remember driving all over Huron County from before Adam could walk to see Connie do aerobics and step classes. Connie's a yoga instructor and a Reiki master and a master of all kinds of jobs. And I heard that in fact once when Jen was in 4th grade, her class compiled a list of who has the most kinds of jobs, and Connie won with 9 jobs. 9 jobs! So currently one of her main jobs is being a librarian at Sacred Heart Schools, and I hear that the kids flock to hear her stories, and so today we're lucky to have her story tell with us a bit, talking about the wisdom of love. So welcome, Connie.
That was quite an introduction. Got me crying already. Today you start your life together. 2 becomes 1, and love connects you. You believe it can't get any better. You feel joy, contentment, connection. Like, then maybe a child comes along. Love magically connects you to this little being, makes you even closer to each other, and your circle of love just grows. How does this happen? How can you love this little person you don't even know? That's the wisdom of love. And quite possibly, a few more children arrive on the scene. Your circle of love grows again. How is it possible to love these new little beings as much as the first? But you do, and that's the wisdom of love. In a blink of an eye, these little beings have grown and gone off to make their way in the world. But for some unknown reason, they keep coming back. They rifle through your cupboards and fridge to find that favorite cookie or snack or a bit of leftover from that favorite meal. Now that's the wisdom of love. But that's not the end of the story. Suddenly, they all start bringing their true loves home with commitment and marriage on the horizon. And your circle of love grows again, including their partners and friends. Now that's the wisdom of love. First comes love, then comes commitment or marriage, and then comes 2, pushing the baby carriage. You thought you knew what love was until you have grandchildren. There's the rub. Your circle of love knows no boundaries now. You didn't think it was possible, but your circle has grown so big, your heart is just bursting. Now that's the wisdom of love. It makes you wonder why we love who we do and why we connect to those we do. I'm guessing that's the wisdom of love. Nana Fenton had many bits of wisdom she shared with us. We now call Nana-isms. One of them is love will go where it's sent. So I'm thinking that she knew that's the wisdom of love. I'm thinking that 4 young men from Liverpool also had it right when they first sang, "All you need is love." Yes, love is all you need, along with the wisdom of love. The roots of your family tree began with the love of two hearts. May your love grow over the years and expand your circle of love to fill your heart to bursting so you can experience the wisdom of love.
Who wants to hear more about love? Aww. Yes, hand right here. Hey, Benton, where are you going? Come back! No, for real! Oh, they gotta get something. Oh, some water. Everyone, I know like we're all just like in like rapt attention with this beautiful sharing of stuff about love, but it's also important to stay hydrated because it's very hot out here. Some of you are wearing very many layers. So thank you, Fenton, for that helpful reminder. So yeah, don't be shy. Take a drink of water. Yeah, Alia's got it too. Yes, yeah. So as we all hydrate, I welcome up Fenton and Alia to share with us their vows. And they've prepared this in two parts. They're first going to share a little bit about their love, and then they're going to share their promises to each other. So just in advance of that, thank you both so much for your generosity with this sharing. I'm just really looking forward
No pressure. Okay. The bar is pretty high right now. Allie and I have not heard each other's vows, just so you know. And as the days kind of got closer to today, every day I was like, oh, I'm going to go practice my vows, and then time always ran out. So I haven't read them either. Here we go. So I just wanted to start with giving a little bit of context about how we met. And it was about 7 years ago. We were at a queer function or a queer party together, and I was leaving, and Alia walked me out, and I rode my motorcycle there, and she asked if she could sit on my motorcycle. So when she swung her leg over the motorcycle, and she pretended to make all of the controls work, and so I became smitten immediately, of course. And then not too far in the future, I got a Facebook message that said, hey, I was shopping and I found this shirt and it reminded me of you, so I bought it. Period. So I immediately called all of my friends and I asked, what does this mean? I got all kinds of advice, mostly in the form of dude, you have to ask her out. So I did, I asked if she and I could go get coffee so I could see this shirt. Which she forgot. I took that as a good sign, so we can see each other again, right? Unfortunately, Alia did not appreciate what I wore that day. I was wearing a green hoodie that was neither fashionable nor ironic. But I got a second chance, right? Because she forgot the shirt. So the next time we met, I made sure that I was wearing my best shirt and tie, and we met on the dance floor. And that's where I really won her over. She likes my moves.
Some of you have seen them, you know.
And we just grooved. We just grooved. Our bodies moved together really well. And after that night, I knew immediately that Alia was right for me because I know things like this. And I spent the next 2 years trying to convince Alia that I was the right person for her. But I want to talk about today why I knew that she was the right person. I knew she was the right person for me. So I knew this because I know this because of the gentle way that you care for me and the intentional choices you make around caring for me and the others around you. Because of the way that you are quick to laugh, mostly with me, at whatever circumstances we find ourselves in together. Your passion for continually bettering yourself. That has influenced me to become a better person. Your brilliant mind and the way you organize Excel files.
Very true.
The complex ways that you look at the world in the day-to-day and how you never accept the world at face value. Your passion for dance, theater, and creating loving communities makes me a braver person, introduces me to new worlds, and pushes me to be creative in my own ways. As well as the easy comfort between us and the way you fit perfectly in my arms.
In my life, I have learned how to love from a number of teachers. My family, who gave me life in more ways than one, and who show up for me over and over and over again. My friends, who are all my anchors in life, who help me believe in my own goodness and worth in the world. My communities, and all the change and magic makers out there who I work with every day to create this new, beautiful world of ours. And you, my Fento, who holds my heart so close and so calmly, who comes to me when I ask and also without me having to ask. You lay your love down in front of me and around me, and it makes me know a safety and a care that is so precious and so healing. I love you. I love our weirdness, the way we get silly, the way I have, after many years of dedicated work, converting you to liking extremely bad puns. I love the way we make our house. I love the way we talk, and I love our long silence. I love it when you snuggle up in my neck. I love the way we find each other when we need comfort, and I love how we're learning to give it to each other. I also love how you're kind of a hard ass, in just the way I need. You have this way of also laying the truth down in front of me. Sometimes asking, sometimes demanding, and sometimes just kind of suggesting for my consideration. That I reckon with it. And sometimes you just wait for me to realize it for myself. I love the goodness and warmth and deep, deep care you bring to the world, to your work, to the people you love. I love it when you make me feel how much bigger your muscles are this week, even though I can't really tell because they're kind of just as big as they were last week. I love how you love and want my femme, how your very unambiguous appreciation of my femme has really invited me to come more fully into it. I love your gender, your queerness, your tender, tender heart. I love how my body feels when I'm next to you, warm, held, home. I love that you are willing to be transformed by this thing we call us. You're so different from me in so many ways, some of which I'm only starting to realize now after 6 years. I love that our difference, up so close and so intimate, takes me outside of myself, helps me understand more fully the different ways humans can be. And I learn. Our difference means, I learn so much from you. How to name things as they are, how team sports can not be terrifying, how to forgive your lover even when they've hurt you, how to do a J-stroke, how to work on something one spindle at a time until it's done, although the original credit for that goes to Connie. Thank you, Connie. That difference is also hard. We disagree profoundly sometimes. We each need things that the other just can't provide. We hurt each other intentionally or not. It's frustrating, it's destabilizing, it's triggering, it's tiring, it's what it is to be human, living close with our lives woven right into each other's. It's all also, maybe, what's needed for love.
Since these are called vows, I'm going to finish with my promises. I promise to carry you when you are tired. I promise to make you laugh every day. I promise to let you grow, even when it is hard for me, and even if that means you sleep in your own bed sometimes. I promise to always work on my work-life balance and to be present for you. I promise to be home to you.
My Fenton. Sometimes I'm not very good at love, and I know you know that. Statistics is no problem. I can figure out whether or not to reject the null hypothesis. That is easy. But loving people well might be the hardest thing I've ever tried to do. But just as I'm committed to loving myself, to loving my family, my friends, my communities, I commit to loving you. I committed to loving you, being with you, growing with you many years ago. And today, here, in front of all these people that we love, I commit to loving you so hard, and so well, and so deeply, and in all the different ways I know how, and in all the different ways I don't know how yet. Because you, Bento, deserve to be loved. Every cell of your body, every inch of your skin, every single day of your life. I promise to open myself to learning what depths of love and care you and I can travel to in whatever form that comes. I promise to listen carefully, to truly perceive who you are, to learn how you want and need to be loved, and to try to love you like that. I promise to love myself well, so that I can love you well. I promise to be honest with you, even when you don't like it. I promise to be gentle with your heart, even when I don't want to be. I promise that I will not keep every one of these promises, because I am an incredibly flawed human. But I promise to try, because I love you, because I want to, because what else are we doing here in this life but trying to come as close to each other's hearts as possible.
Pendant to Fenton and Fenton's ring to Alia. They'll now exchange their jewelry and say what the jewelry means to each other. Perhaps privately?
We're deciding what's happening first. It's a little hot outside today.
Love is work.
I chose to get a ring because I wanted to wear it so to have like a visible marker that is culturally understood, and so that I could wear it all of the time. except in some of my sports. Amethyst is my birthstone and is purple. I wanted a piece of stone that had both smooth and jagged edges. There's pieces of this that are smoothed and worked over and pieces that are still raw from their original form. I wanted a pendant also because I wanted stone also because of the weight of it, and I knew that it would hang on my heart. And I want to, for me, that it's about feeling this substantial weight of your love. Okay, that just sounds bad. To really feel something on my heart as I go through my day and as I have whatever moments I have through the day, that I can actually feel the weight of you in my heart and your presence.
Okay, so at this point of the ceremony, we're so they've created this ring of candles around here that represents the families coming together, and also we're all here to come together with them in a circle of community. And I thought to mark that transition that we just all take a selfie together. Right, so this is a really special ritual. So what do they say? Jamton? Yeah? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Jamton! We did it! Yeah. Move into that circle thing that I was talking about. Alia has joined the community over here, and Fenton wanted to sing, and they really wanted to have music as part of today and as part of the rituals we're having today. So I'd like to invite up to join Fenton, Alana. Oh, there's so many wonderful Alanas today who all have special roles today. So other Alana is back there. So Alana, Fenton, and Liz. Liz couldn't make it today, but the three of them are a bit of, I think the word Fenton used was a pod. So like, yeah, he's in a pod. And they spent a lifetime just weaving in and out of each other's lives as river guides on northern Canadian rivers, namely on the Nahanni River, and instructors of outdoor ed at Augustana University. So whenever the three of them happen to connect before going on the river or returning from a trip or occasionally getting to work together on the river, they always play music. So Alana, this quote shy little dude, has learned to play the next little ditty in the past couple of weeks, and they've invited us all to join. So just you wanted to describe the
Yeah, I'd really like to get my pick, so I have to go do that.
So Fenton is
going back. It's okay. Just 1 second.
Yeah. And in life you sometimes you pick someone. Weddings are about picks, and Fenton has strategically chosen this moment to put their pick back there to remind us all of the intentionality of love. It doesn't, in partnership. So thank you for that, Fenton. The brilliance. So I'd also like to welcome up our two microphone holders. So, yeah, one there and one here. Okay. Great.
I also need my glasses.
Because sometimes in love you think you can't see clearly. And that's when you call on your community to help you. And that's why we're all here today. Takes a village, folks.
Oh, you're getting so old.
I think they're going to share one vocal mic and then one will mic the
Sure.
You are singing too, right?
Yeah. Guitar one.
Do you want the little intro that you wrote, or do you?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, and just another note on this little pod of people. we all act and interact in really predictable ways. And my friend Liz, about a week ago, said, "Oh, I can't come on Saturday. I have to work." So originally she was going to be up here doing the guitar and singing, and I was like, "Okay, crap. I guess I have to learn the song in a week." So I've been hiding in the bedroom learning this song for the last week. And we chose this song, or I guess, yeah, we've been moving around the country. Here, I'm just going to hold this for a second. We've been moving around the country for the last few years quite a bit. So we moved from Edmonton to Halifax, and very recently we moved to Winnipeg again. And so in each place we create new relationships and new ties, and we get further away from our families. And so we chose this song. It's called "The Small of My Heart," because we want to keep our families in the small of our heart as we move around. And also, the other piece to this song and doing this is that we want to further extend our community to the people that are here. So kind of starting with Ali and I's, like, our little foundation for today in this moment, and then also invite other people into that space too. So by singing together, I felt like we could do that together. So this is not just us performing, this is us singing together. And so the lyrics are in your booklet. And the artists are called Madison Violet. And Madison Violet are from Cape Breton. They're a queer couple from Cape Breton. And so a little piece of Halifax is here for us as well. Or a little piece of Nova Scotia, I should say. So we're gonna get you to sing all the time, of course. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you can sing the chorus with us, which we're gonna sing ad nausea, so that that everyone gets it. So at the end, we're not gonna stop playing the chorus until everyone's in. So if you're just like, "Good God, I'm just waiting for this to be over," it won't be over until you've sung. So I'm gonna sing up here, and we're just gonna keep going. So you might as well just sing. And the chorus is really easy. It goes like this. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart. Times 2. Yeah. So whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. That's how it goes. Okay. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart. Well, the bus don't stop at Harbor Street from now on. The lake is low, the robin's song has all been sung. Till I'm looking out for traffic just to drive slow. 'Cause when I leave, it's hard to let you go. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small. Whenever I'm away, I keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart. Whenever I'm away, I'll keep you in the small of my heart. The small of my heart.
the clouds. Well, I've never seen the sun come down quite like the way it does in my hometown. Whenever I'm away, I'll keep you in the small of my heart, the small of my heart. Whenever I'm away, I'll keep you in the small of my heart, the small of my heart. Everybody. Whenever I'm away, I'll keep you in the small of my heart, the small of my heart. Whenever I'm away, I'll keep you in the small of my heart, the small of my heart.
The end of this part of the day, and I just invite us all to reflect on the things that might have shifted through this ceremony today. Ollie and Fenton, as we heard in their vows, have chosen to invest in their relationship a long time ago, but today are doing so in a way that is imbued with intention and ceremony, and most importantly with the shared experience of their families and communities who have gathered here today. I know that they wanted to thank everyone who, they're just really awed by the people who have put their minds and their hearts into the ceremony today and this week and yesterday, the lovely and supportive emails that they've received. They're very touched, and particularly want to thank Zenobia and Iqbal, Connie and Alan, Khalid, Tarek for all the hours of planning and running around, and I know that list goes on and on. They've commented on how incredibly hard but beautiful it is to share their humanness, their worries, their struggles, and their hopes and desires in this communal way. But they know that it is with this vulnerability
been traveling with this memory project. It started in Halifax, where people have taken these moon-shaped pieces of fabric and written messages of wisdom and love for them on them, and then I believe Aunt Joan is sewing it back together. Did I get the name right? Joyce. I'm sorry, Aunt Joyce. Thank you. Aunt Joyce is going to take these and sew them together, and what a beautiful.
No, it's done. This is now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alias job.
You were sewing it back together. You might want to chat about that. As long as it doesn't end up on my doorstep. All these back together. With this beautiful project of love, so that they can take it and have it always with them in their home. So I'd ask that you take some time, because we are to amble. The word is amble. Back to it. That means walk slowly, because they've got things they got to do back there. So we need to move slowly. Back, we set it up over here. So pick your favorite piece of fabric, and there's fabric markers there to write a message to Alia and Fenton on it. So take some time to do that, and just leave the messages there on the side, and we'll gather them up after. So if you can please take the time to do that. The other thing is, Burr is going to have what I am terribly excited about. Is going to do a little program for children, but I understand that others can attend as well, because I was told I was allowed to go. And I assume you want to be away from, because there's going to be knives and fire involved, which always goes well with children. So, no, but it sounds awesome. So she's going to do a little demonstration for the children and some entertainment. And where would you like them to go?
Good question. I was asking the same thing. The campsite right beside 10. Campsite 10.
Campsite 10 is going to be there. So you can make your way there, and it's going to be amazing. So I was telling my son about it, and he's like, I get to come to that, and I'm like, no, but I'll take pictures for you. So it's going to be great. So if anyone who'd like to go to that, please join them there. The other thing is anyone who's able, not yet, stay seated, please. Pick up your chair and move it over to the van. It'll be something you love. Any other questions? I don't actually know, I didn't see, but I did see chips, so you might want to go up there. And I have the granola bar in my bag, if nothing else.
How many desserts?
How many desserts? That is an excellent question that I again don't know the answer to. But I'm sure it will be delicious. I've never met a dessert I didn't like, so I'm sure it will be fine. Any questions that I might actually know the answer to? Okay, excellent. I'm going to take silence as you have no more questions. And if you could move your chairs, and family here, children to site 10, and chairs over here. And there will be a written quiz at the end. So Benton has prepared it. It's only 9 pages of multiple choice.
Woohoo! Yay!